Hello everyone, Andrew here, and this is it, the game that everybody has been waiting for since the beginning of this month of reviews. It is Zelda, the 59th Game & Watch ever released on August 26th, 1989, and the 59th Game & Watch, that means it's only followed by a single Game & Watch, that being Mario the Juggler, and yeah, it was the second last Game & Watch ever released back in the day, if you don't include ones like the Club Nintendo remake of Ball and such. And it's really strange, for some reason the back is like the wrong direction. I don't know if that's like a misprint on my box or if they were all like that, but just think, 1989, the NES had already been out for several years, the Game Boy came out in April of 1989, and yet they were still making Game & Watches at that time. It's just so mind-blowing, but yes, here we go! Finally, with Zelda, and let's talk about the name too. It's not even like The Legend of Zelda, it's just Zelda. And the only other games I can think that have done that are like the CDI ones, the Wand of Gamelon and stuff, so congratulations Game & Watch Zelda, you're in company with those. But here we go, it's a multi-screen Game & Watch, and let us play. So the first thing you're going to notice about this Game & Watch is that there's actually no Game A and Game B. You just get a game, continue, and a time button. Each one should be pretty self-explanatory. But a continue button on a Game & Watch, I think that's, pretty unique. I don't know if you see that on any other one. Otherwise, the alarm button is once again relegated to one of those small toothpick-sized buttons. You get an attack button, which kind of has that rubbery feel to it. And then you get a typical D-pad, which always feels good, just like on the NES and Famicom. So let's set the time here and press that time button, and you get a quick demonstration. And what you're gonna immediately notice is that this game plays kind of like Zelda 2, where it's a lot of left to right movement. It's not an overhead based game, and most of the action takes place on the lower screen. So let's just kind of jump right in there. As you can see, we have 3 hearts down there, and the goal of each stage is to defeat this guy on the right. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a moblin, and you have Skeleton, in this case, in the first level here, kind of stabbing up at you from the bottom, and you don't want to be standing on the space when the knife goes through the panel, as you can see right there. But otherwise, we need to wait till this guy moves to the right, and then get up in his face and just press that attack button as many times as we can in order to deal as much damage as possible, and at the bottom right there is the remaining health of that enemy. And otherwise, sometimes arrows get shot at you, and just by not pressing anything, your shield is in front and you will block those arrows coming at you from the front. But if you hold the attack button, you will move your shield to the back, and sometimes you have to defend from attacks coming from behind as well. After you clear about 3 or 4 stages, you fight a dragon, and defeating that dragon will get you one of the pieces of the Triforce. Get all 8, and you save Zelda and beat the game. Yeah, so 8 dragons have taken the pieces of the Triforce, and I guess they've also taken Zelda, so getting all those back, and you win. But there you go, we actually beat that stage without taking a single piece of damage, and when you beat a level, you get an extra heart, so that was perfect clear. So now we have 4 hearts, and you actually get a choice after some levels on if you want to go up to the left or up to the right, and I'm assuming that probably determines like which enemies you encounter on that floor. So now we have someone shooting arrows from behind. We have to hold that attack button to put the shield back there, while also not getting hit from the front or from the bottom. So a lot starts going on, and it kind of gets pretty convoluted, I think, where you're trying to defend in so many areas, and sometimes it feels like when you go over to attack that guy on the right that he's just not in the right position. It can get pretty tricky. Go block that arrow. And you can't even stand on that space for as long as that sword is sticking through the ground. You will get hurt if you like stand there even after the sword's already been stuck through. So you got to be careful of that. And yes, so as I said, you get that choice of which stairs you want to take, but usually after 3 or 4 rooms, you're at that dragon boss at the top of the tower, and you have to do that 8 times, and yeah, that's the end. But a really cool design. I think it's a really neat Game & Watch. It's just so like, not like anything else you really see from Zelda. It's funny that it's based on, the Zelda game that people think is kind of the most out there, being Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, and being the more side-scrolling one. So this time we don't get an option for a right set of stairs, and that map at the top, you can see, it kind of, shows the different levels that there are. So like the first level was that bottom one, which gave us the option of going to the left, which would have taken us to this one, or we went to the right. So I guess that actually kind of made our, no, but we went to the left last time. So actually I think the flashing one is where we're at, and then by going up, since yeah, there's only a left one, it will take us to that one that's currently at the top. That's how the map works. It's kind of confusing. They did what they could with the limitations of the Game & Watch, and I think it turned out pretty well, but it's really funny to think that the Game Boy was actually out by the time this Game & Watch was released, and of course, there would eventually be Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, and just imagine how much more of an improvement of a game that is over this one. But now we have 2 Skeletors from the bottom trying to stab us, rather than having that ghost on the left shooting arrows. So pick your poison. Not sure which one's really the easier matchup to deal with. So as long as you're not pressing anything, you can just block those arrows from the front. You kind of want to make the skeletons go to the left, I guess. So that one on the right just kind of really seems to be in the worst spot constantly. 10 more damage and we're done with this level. So this game is actually unlocked. Yeah, just mash that button, man. Even if you take a hit, if you have lots of darts, just get it done. So you can actually unlock this game in Game & Watch Gallery 4, known as Game & Watch Gallery Advance in Europe, I believe. So yeah, we're going up to the boss. We actually get these really spooky stairs, which is pretty cool. So I'll save our Game & Watch story for after, but I find that the dragon bosses are actually pretty easy. I mean, you can see these flames coming down at you, and you just don't want to be standing there when the flame is directly above you. Otherwise, just get up there and take them out. The health is once again shown on the bottom. And then, yeah, once the dragon's destroyed, you get that Triforce piece and you have beaten this dungeon. Then there'd be 7 more to go afterwards. So you also have some items over on the left, like you have the map there and you have the Water of Life. I'm not entirely sure how you pick those up. They kind of just seem to appear there at various points. Man, I wish I had that instruction manual. But I believe that the Water of Life will heal you, heal all of your hearts if you happen to lose them all. And the map kind of gives you a better idea, I think, of where you're going on the left there. But yeah, there's definitely some interesting stuff going on. I think it's so neat that the top screen pretty much exists solely for those stats as well as for being for this dragon battle. There you go! So we defeated the dragon, and just like that, Link has just obtained a piece of the Triforce. Fortunately, there's no, like, Zelda music or anything like that, just a lot of, high-pitch beepings and such. Now we have 5 hearts, which is pretty cool. And when you have 5 hearts, we are actually shooting beams from our sword here. It's kind of hard to see. But that's actually us. For a second you might think, oh, it's someone else shooting at us. But no, that's actually us shooting beams at the enemy. And that's great, because it means we don't have to get right up in their face to actually do any damage. Yeah, that makes the game really easily. And then just like that, I think we once again get a choice of which floor we want to go to. Okay, I'm not sure why you'd want to go to the right. Because that kind of makes it look like you have to do like an extra one before you get to go there. I mean, we have 270 points, so I guess if you were like really concerned with score, you'd want to take the longer route. But yes, this game was featured on Wow, look at all the enemies we gotta deal with here. On Game & Watch Gallery 4, and it was the very last thing you ever unlocked for getting pretty much every single star. And there's a lot of stars in that game. Oh shoot, I was holding the button thinking, okay, that's how you block. Even though I've said it a million times, just, the game messes with your mind, because there's so many things you have to try concentrating on at once. So now we can't shoot beams anymore, so things are really difficult. Probably once we get game over though, I did want to show the continue function. I've just been playing a little bit too well. So okay, let's just beat the stage, and if we actually do that, we could get back to 5 hearts again. But see, it's not fair. I go up there in for the hit, and then he's like, alright, well I'm going to decide to move backwards now. But yeah, so if you want to play this, Game & Watch Gallery 4 is an option, but you have to unlock absolutely everything, which is not an easy task, I don't think. Ah, so there you go. Taking damage. Just die, die, die. Well, we lost our beam, but we destroyed that guy, so that's that. I mean, once again, since that we are the currently flashing section right there, so we could go to the right, or we could go up. And again, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to just go the quicker route. And this looks very similar to the previous stage. Yeah, the enemies don't have invincibility frames in this game. You literally just mash that attack button as fast as possible. People have been speculating that, maybe there will be a Nintendo, or not a Nintendo, a Zelda Special Edition Game & Watch for when Zelda's 35th anniversary comes up soon. And that would be interesting, but people always kind of, I mean, there's like a mock-up image going around, and it's of a widescreen Game & Watch, and, that's very not accurate, considering the Zelda Game & Watch was a multi-screen one. So those people just don't know their Game & Watch history, I suppose. I'd rather see Nintendo get Breath of the Wild 2 out there. Stop, re-releasing the old stuff and make some new stuff. Because, I mean, whoa, whoa, I got all my hearts back there. I can't exactly explain why that just happened. I wasn't looking up, maybe, and if I had known that was going to happen, I could have had all 5 hearts again. I think that maybe I had an item that did that, but I wasn't paying enough attention to the top screen. And there you go! Now we're back up to 5 hearts again. I just cannot lose this. And that once again brings the boss stairs about. Yeah, wow, we are just doing too well. I was gonna go until like I got game over and maybe demonstrate the continue function, but no. Can I shoot? No, I cannot shoot beams while I am in the upper stage here. All right, let's defeat this dragon again. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Nintendo releases next. But I would love to see some more focus on the new games rather than it being all about the, you know, just re-releasing the old stuff. As much as I love the old stuff, it's just I also want to see some new things too. Wait, how did I die? I thought I had way more hearts than that. So there you go. So Link is dead. And unfortunately, and as you can see, we were still way up there, but if we press continue, it should take us right back to where we left off. And from my experience, I don't believe there's any limit to the number of continues that you get. So, you know, you can pretty much play through the entire game. It's not really mean, and it's like, you know, if you get game over 3 times or something, you start all the way back from the beginning. Of course, there were a lot of games back in the day that were like that, and I'm not personally against that. I think it's a good challenge. It encourages you to get better instead of just tanking your way through the game, knowing that there's not really any consequence. And wow. All right, we totally got to beat this. This dragon's a little bit more difficult than the last one. If you accidentally press the time button or don't press continue fast enough, you will lose your ability to continue from where you left off. So make sure you don't fool around if you're in the middle of like a game where you've, you know, beaten like 6 dragons or something like that and you're really trying to get to the end. It's no joke. Don't accidentally mispress and not press that continue button. I don't understand. I'm getting hit by all sorts of things here that I don't think I'm getting hit by, but and I think that's where we're going to finish things off. It's unfortunate we couldn't beat that boss, but, you know, it was never intended to be a full playthrough anyway, so just consider this, you know, me not spoiling the rest of the game for you. It's a super, super cool game, though. I love how different it is from other Game & Watches, and I hope that at some point you have the chance to check it out for yourself. Again, it's on Game & Watch Gallery 4, and just, yeah, it's an all-around awesome game. Maybe we will get a re-release of it, 40th, 35th anniversary of Zelda, but then again, they haven't re-released like the Mario Game & Watch on the 35th anniversary Mario Game & Watch, which would have made a lot of sense, so who knows. But thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, hope you'll join me tomorrow for another Game & Watch review, so thanks, and hope to see you then.